we are going to analyze the wildcard of Mark Saturn's. It was atrocious, maybe the worst wildcard ever by a FPL celebrity. For those who don't know him, he was considered as GOAT of the game, the greatest ever player, but he's having some bad seasons. Nonetheless, he's a revolutionary player. He popularized the game. He worked for FPL in the past. So I'm a huge fan, and a lot of people are huge fans of him. But everyone can make a mistake. So let's go to the screen and analyze it. It was a really catastrophe. So let's first start with his history. So he played his wildcard here, and even though he played his wildcard and he was 6 million, he managed to go down. That's terrible. It's not according to his standard. You can see his ranking is amazing. This was his pre-wildcard team, and what he managed to do, he managed to sell Haaland before back-to-back hat tricks. So he sold him here. So he lost 34 points, or if he gave the amber to him, a lot of points. That would be 68 points, which is huge. But also he sold Luis Diaz, and Luis Diaz scored 2 goals the following game week. That also was a disaster. He brought Jesus, who blanked. He brought Salah, who also blanked. His theory of going without Salah was decent, but he should have stick with it. He brought De Bruyne, who blanked, and then he was benched with an average of 1.5 points per game. That's same as Ward. Ward has 1 and 2 points in the last 2 game weeks. So you pay at least 4 million for Ward. He also sold Cancelo. He went with Walker, downgrade him. He sold Cancelo, and Cancelo scored a goal for a huge 12-pointer. Also, he's benching Andreas all the time, but that's not part of the template. He brought Mitrovic. This is his original team. It was in game week 3. He had 39 points. He was probably disappointed, and then he decided to do the wildcard, and the wildcard is in game week 4. When he brought Rodrigo, who got injured, unlucky. That is not a mistake. Then he brought Mitrovic, but he put him on the bench. So there was no reason in bringing him. And the real kick is he sold Martinelli. He sold Saka for Jesus, and Saka actually outscored Jesus. So Saka has 5 and 5. That's 10 points in the last 2 game weeks, and Jesus has 1 and 6, 7 points. So his theories were good in theory, but in practice he made a lot of mistakes. He sold Diaz before explosion. He sold Cancelo before explosion. He sold Haaland before back-to-back hat tricks. That was also terrible. At least he brought Perisic for some points, and that was it mainly. He brought Tony and sold Johnson scored, but that was not part of the wildcard. So that was mainly really unlucky, but he's playing with all these 3 players, Jesus, Saha, and Haaland, and manages to not have them when they hold, and at the same time he's flirting with Son and De Bruyne, but he's having them when they're not delivering. So that's I get it. Haaland versus Salah, it was difficult, but not having Jesus when he's 8 million, I really don't get it. He should have kept him in game week 1, and his strategy worked in game week 4 actually. If he just kept Saka outscored Jesus, and also Luis Diaz was great. Selling Son to Haaland probably would have been Son to Salah would have been the right move. So let's go to his current team, what he should do. So actually, he has 2 transfers and zero 0.1 in the bank, and also he has benching dilemmas. That is one of the problems with his wildcard. He has a lot of playing options. So uh, Perisic probably will be benched. We don't know. He might bench him and play Neko Williams. So play something like this. So Mitrovic away to Tottenham, not a deal, but he has to play him. Jesus away to Manchester, and Tony. Also, he has De Bruyne, Martinelli, and Salah. So since he has two free transfers, he needs to bring Haaland, in my opinion. Tony is a decent differential, good fixtures, and Jesus has good 3 fixtures, but he's really so highly owned, so probably he should risk it and get Haaland here. Haaland is a must. So he's missing 3.7 million. So the obvious solution is Salah to Diaz, because he will not be captaining Salah. This is to Diaz. And go with it. I would do this. I would captain Salah, make captain. Luis Diaz Weiss, and hope for the best that Mitrovic, Haaland, and Tony will deliver. James will be probably fit. Walker, Neko Williams exploding would be his best bet, and Alexander Arnold to be kept. Probably Perisic will be the first on the bench. This would be the team, and then we'll go to the next game week. Then he can work with Rodrigo next game week. Everyone is good. Perisic and Rodrigo is injured, so probably he can sell Rodrigo for someone up to 7.4. That might be Zaha. So this could be his next game week. He will bench Neko Williams and get Zaha. So this would be also decent. But also, I would be tempted to get Harry Kane this game week because he plays Fulham also, or maybe Darwin. Darwin is also an option. So he can maybe. We are going to restore this team instead of Luis Diaz. Let's go back to the team. I don't know how to do this, but I will refresh it and see. Okay, this is it. So he has to get Haaland. Let Haaland for Jesus, and he is missing 3.7. I would probably sell Salah and hope for the best. When Mark doesn't have Salah, he's scoring huge goals. But let's say if he can go to Sterling, Sterling would be a good option here. But actually, he cannot go to Sterling. I would do maybe even 8-point hit. He get here Kane, but it's a too risky move. So De Bruyne could be an option to be sold, but he plays Aston Villa away, so maybe sold De Bruyne and get Diaz. This could be a good option as well. De Bruyne will start, but he hasn't shown anything that he will explode. So next game week he has Diaz for Wolves, and I would probably play this. Perisic and Neko are coin toss. He will bench Rodrigo, play James. Perisic first on the bench. This would be my team. I would be tempted to play Perisic instead of Mitrovic maybe. So this is the team. I would get Haaland and Luis Diaz for Kevin De Bruyne and Jesus. I will play against Jesus and hope for the best. Alternative, he can sell Salah for Luis Diaz, but I would probably keep him. Also, he could make a great differential move. I will refresh again. So the main move is Jesus to Haaland. He has to have him, and maybe gamble and sell Salah for Son. I was thinking, but he doesn't have money, so I would probably keep Salah. I think De Bruyne has away game, then Spurs. I will probably keep Salah and get Luis Diaz here. Because he cannot, an example, he has De Bruyne. The ideal situation will be to sell Rodrigo, but he won't have any money because he's missing 3.7. Then I will sell De Bruyne, keep Diaz, get Diaz, or maybe in the future, or go lower and in the next game week get Darwin for Tony. So in that case, you can go here. Let's go Tony to Darwin. I'll get Darwin here. He's missing 1.7 million. And that means Diaz needs to go to someone 6.5. That's great. He can go Trossard. He can go Pascal Gross. He can go Gordon. So let's say Trossard. This would be also great option. So I would probably do like this. Be ready for Darwin next game week for Tony, and still keep Salah these 2 game weeks because he has Everton and Wolves. But for these fixtures to be sold, probably get Kane up front or Son. So let's go back to the previous game week. So then I will not go Salah, Luis Diaz. I will go someone up to 6.5 million and get Darwin next game week for Tony. So I will probably go Gordon. Gordon is a decent option, or Trossard, or Pascal Gross. So this is the move. I would do a 2 free transfer, Jesus to Haaland and Trossard in, or Pascal Gross, or Gordon, up to him. Let's say Trossard because everyone has Pascal Gross. In the past, Trossard had great seasons, and he will have 1.9 in the bank, and actually he has Rodrigo. Rodrigo could be another cash cow, so also an option to sell him next game week for someone decent. Let's go. So if he goes Trossard, then he has and if he doesn't get Darwin, I would still get Darwin. I will ignore Rodrigo. If he gets Darwin, he has 6.3 million for someone to be pumped. So he's in really difficult situation. My move would be definitely Jesus to Haaland and go with it. Or he can maybe gamble Alvarez up front. He's 6.2, so I will go Alvarez, Kane. Those would be my picks. So I will keep Salah, still keep and sell him after Wolves. I will give him Wolves and Everton. So let's say then I would be tempted to go by Gordon. That means he has 2.9 million to upgrade Rodrigo to Sterling. Oh, again, he doesn't have money for Sterling. I would love. Okay, next game week he can do a hit if needed. So 9.2 or go to Zaha or Luis Diaz. So those are the options. Let's see what he will do. And it was really a terrible wild card, but it can happen to everyone. Let me know what do you think he should do, and what do you think about his wild card. It was really unlucky to sell back-to-back hat-tricks of Haaland, sell explosion of Luis Diaz, and sell explosion of Cancelo, and get Jesus when Saka actually outscore him. So that's terrible, but it is what it is. That was it from me. Hope you liked it, and let me know which player do you want me to analyze next. And good luck this game week, and see you soon. Bye.